This Educating Yorkshire episode is absolutely wild.
Miss, I think that you're beautiful.
But I am a married woman and you need to leave me alone.
Hang on.
Oh dear. Are you alright?
Hello you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be watching one of the wildest episodes of Educating Yorkshire I've ever seen. If you haven't seen this TV show before, basically it documents the dramatic lives of students and teachers at Thornhill Academy. And in this episode today there is a lot of serious things that are talked about. For instance, somebody gets rushed to hospital in it. And the overriding theme of this episode is seeing if certain students pass their GCSE results. So let's just get into it. So the students at this school have recently done their first attempt at their GCSEs. It's now January, and Mr. Steer, the assistant head teacher, is receiving these results back for the first time, and the way that he reacts to it is so sweet.
Yes.
See, I would never think like teachers would react to like my GCSE results like that. Like I would just never think they would care that much, but clearly they do. For some reason in school, I thought that teachers that didn't like us were like secretly plotting like for my failure. In the last year at this school, the GCSE results were the best they've ever had. However, this year it's the worst they've ever had.
All schools are judged by the quality of their exam results. If those kids don't get the results that they are expecting, our necks are on the line.
Ooh. I didn't realise we possessed that much power. No wonder my maths teacher used to bribe her with a 5 to pass her results. That actually happened. He genuinely said to everyone that gets the expected grade, I'm going to give you a 5. No wonder, because his neck would have been on the chopping block. I thought he was just a kind soul. The bastard. Do you know what? I might make a video confronting that man right now. He was sweet. I'm not going to do that. He's probably retired now anyway. There's this one girl group in year 11 where all of them have failed their first attempt at their GCSEs. And from the way that they're introduced, it's kind of clear to see why.
Among the kids who have missed the mark, there is one group of girls that have been testing Thornhill's maths department to the limit.
Sorry, you can't convince me that that's not the same person, like photoshopped 4 times. They've all got the same trim, man. Was it like a 4-for-1 deal? Yeah, I'll just have what the girl before us had. If that's alright. Just ordering like it's at a pub. Is this like the girl equivalent of like lads having that like meet me at McDonald's haircut, you know, where it's like really like curly at the front? I think it is.
I did a test with them and they all got you.
I'm not good at
Wait, she got a U? Really? You can never judge a book by its cover, can you guys, honestly? She is called Sheridan, and the reason she gives for not passing her GCSE results is so funny.
It's just like I read it and nah, doesn't nah.
Do you know what? I kind of rate it. I look at it and I'm like, nah. To be fair, I do that with a lot of things. Like sometimes when I need to, I don't know, like what do I need to do? You know, when I need to take the bin out on like a Tuesday, I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'll do it in 2 weeks, it's fine, right? Our friends also give their reasons why they're failing.
I'm going to be an hairdresser. I'm not going to need to know what X times 2 pi r, whatever it is.
Exactly fucking right, love. All you gotta need to know is trim. Is that alright for you? It is, darling. Don't worry, I'll take you over the checkout. Where's the pie in that? No pie, thank you very much. That was actually one of the things I was looking to do before I became a YouTuber. Not a hairdresser, a barber.
When do you need to find the area of a triangle in life? It's so pointless.
Oh, I actually rate this friendship group. This is class. When I'm trying to get into a nightclub, when am I ever going to pull out, oh, do you want to know the fucking surface area, this triangle? I'm never going to do that, am I? What's the point? To be fair, I actually did say in a recent Reacts video that I did, like, why do we learn pi? We don't even use it. And then people actually corrected us and saying, like, they use pi every day. So I had egg on my face after saying that, love. So I wouldn't say that many more times. There's someone sitting at home right now working out the surface area of a triangle for the job. Absolutely fuming with you. Fuming. Before we proceed with the rest of the video, we do have a word from our brand partner. We've got a brand integration. Get in. Come on. Our friends of the channel Beer 52 are giving you the exclusive offer of a case of 8 beers worth £27. Oh! Simply go to www.beer52.com/calm to get 8 unique beers delivered straight to your door. How easy is that? And this month they are showcasing the best independent breweries from around the world with an exclusive selection of beers from 8 different countries, including Belgium, Germany. Do you want another one? The USA. I don't know which one to taste test on camera. Let's go for this one with the unicorn on. This looks magical. Oh my god, that's actually lush. Wow. I normally don't drink beer when I'm out, but if genuinely, I will order that. The tropical. It's tropical, that's why. If you're someone that doesn't like dark beer, you don't have to worry because you can actually choose a light beer case. And also, they give you complimentary snacks, which is just a nice little thing on top. They don't need to. Trying to flirt with her. Cheers, beer 52. I would say buy us a drink first, but you've given us 8, so I guess we're kind of... You know, we've progressed a few stages there. You can also learn about all the fantastic breweries featured in this case with the award-winning Vermont magazine. And even if you get a case and you don't really like it, you don't have to worry because you can pause the order or just cancel it at any time. You're not locked in. If you are thinking about this, or even thinking about getting it as a gift, I would really appreciate it because it does help the channel out. www.beer52/cam. Go! Go now! Now, because of how crucial it is that these girls do pass their GCSE results, which we're going to find out if they actually do at the end of this video, Mr. Steer, the assistant head teacher, is took it upon himself to like teach these girls to like kind of push them over the line of passing.
Beth! What goes into 8 squared and 9b squared?
Nothing.
Nothing, you're right, nothing.
If you have to make yourself look a bit of an idiot, do a silly voice and dance a little dance to get them interested, then that's what you do.
Do you know what? I proper rate teachers like him because I think, you know, I'm not trying to group all teachers in this, but sometimes I think some teachers might have one way of teaching, and if like a student doesn't fit into that mould, then they kind of just disregard them. Please, one video without a voice break. Whereas Mr. Steer clearly knows how to like talk to different kids, get them engaged, like kind of put on a stupid voice because he knows they'll laugh and he knows that it's more engaging for them because they probably find maths boring. I rate it. What a legend.
About the same brain as that Stephen Hawking, that scientist.
Yeah,
He'd probably beat him, wouldn't he? I'd love to see that, actually, Mr. Steer versus Stephen Hawking. That'd be a right match.
Get it in Misfits? Actually, that's not really a contest, is it, unfortunately? Actually, I think it's actually not a contest at all, because I don't actually think Stephen Hawking's alive anymore. Let me just fact check this. No, he's not. God rest his soul. No one would have wanted to have seen that anyway. That would have been brutal. One-way traffic. But you can tell the girls appreciate this because later on in this video, you're going to see how these girls clash with so many other teachers. But the one teacher they never clash with is Mr. Steer. They actually do engage in his lessons. Love, did you never hear about the story about the kid that swung too far on his chair and he fucking broke his neck? 4 legs on the floor, thank you very much. 4 bloody legs. Honestly, God, I'll keep them in check, guys. Don't you worry about that. You've got me on your side. The episode then cuts to a quick cutscene where there's this student trying to flirt with the teacher.
That is this.
2 secs. What? I didn't even see that the first time I saw this. What the hell? You absolute horn dogs. What yous doing, man? Who swaps chewies? You don't do that. It's not CEX. You can't trade it in. Oh, come on. It's just spit at that point. Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Miss, I think that you're beautiful.
I know you do. You've always thought that, but I am a married woman and you need to leave me alone.
He's absolutely devastated. He's definitely been like, you know, for weeks channeling up the confidence to say that to her, and he's been shut down. Fuck's sake, man. Get him next time, brother. The show then cuts to the next day where Mr. Steer is taking his maths class. And this is where we start to see how Sheridan kind of struggles doing her work.
The social element of school for Sheridan is hugely important to her. I think that's where the problem lies. She wants to be having fun.
Yeah, I'm in a fucking well good mood, babe.
One thing I think about Sheridan is she's clearly like she's like a fun person to be around. She's clearly like, she looks like a nice person. I don't think she means to like kind of be disrespectful, even though she is, because she kind of just doesn't listen to the teachers. I feel like she's a little bit like what I was in school, where you really struggle to concentrate. Like, it's just like, you know, the environment of being stuck in a classroom and having to just do one thing over and over. It's not stimulating for your mind, so you do find like other kind of avenues to get that stimulation from, especially if you're unsure what you want to do when you leave school, because it's hard to like equate what you're doing now to how that's going to help in the future, because that seems so far away. Like, I don't necessarily think just because you act up in class it makes you like a thick person or a bad person. It's just so funny because she hates everything to do with school.
There's another subject she finds even harder to cope with.
What do you think of geography?
Oh, it's awful.
Just so funny. Oh no. No, don't even get us started on geography. Oh, God, no. The EU, no, not for me. Thank you very much. Erosion, no, I'm all right. Thank you. Look, thanks for asking. I'm all right, love. No, I'm all right.
This is the worst work in the history of work.
Sheridan, that's not helpful.
I don't like it.
Do you know, from the teacher's perspective though, like I feel like I've said this in a previous educating video. Can you imagine how it makes them feel where they've like, you know, really studied this subject, they're really interested by it, they love it, and then you've got like someone in the front row going, just fucking pointless though, really, innit? It must be so humbling. You'd be like, it's pointless, is it? It's fucking pointless, is it? Is it? 5 years of pointless, is that what you're saying about my life?
Sheridan is clever and popular. And
one thing about geography teachers, do you not think they all have the same trim and all wear the same clothes? Why do all geography teachers wear floral gowns? Is that a gown? Do you know what I mean though? Like floral things? Like every geography teacher I've ever had looks somewhat like this. It must be like in the rule book. Sheridan then says that she doesn't like the geography teacher, Miss Stevens, because she's a young woman and she just can't get on with her.
Miss Stevens is the youngest member of staff at Thornhill.
Because like it's a young teacher who's like a girl and stuff. I don't think I'd be able to get on with people like that.
A young girl teacher? What does that even mean? I thought that would make it easier because, like, you've got more to relate to. Like, I don't know, like, you both have TikTok. I literally don't know. But, like, there's not that much of an age gap, so surely, like, you might watch some things that are similar or, like, just have more, like, to relate to in terms of crack. That's really surprising, like, that she would feel more comfortable with, like, an older teacher or a guy teacher.
You cheeky bitch.
So that's your verbal warning then, Sheridan. Turn around, please.
See, that's like just pure disrespect. That's like a power thing that she's doing there. Like the fact that she just doesn't even look at her and just shakes her head. That's like her trying to get one over on the teacher for some reason. I don't know if she feels like she can kind of boss her around because she is like a young teacher. But could you imagine being that teacher? Like that would feel like you'd feel so like frustrated with this person. Miss Stevens then holds Sheridan back to talk to her.
There's always going to be things in life that you don't want to do that aren't particularly interesting to you, but you're going to have to do anyway.
Exactly, love. Exactly, Miss Stevens. You never know when you're going to need to know about erosion. Trust me, it's got me out of many scenarios in my life. This is one job that I have so much respect for, especially like a young person being a teacher in a secondary school. Like, you have to really, really have so much patience, and it's such a tough job because when you're that age, when you're in secondary school, you are like you do rebel a lot, and the fact that you have to deal with that on a daily basis is your job. Like, I have so much respect for teachers, especially secondary school ones. I know I've never been a teacher, but I would argue that secondary school teachers have it harder than primary school, wouldn't they? But I guess primary school, like, you know, you've got to really kind of keep an eye on them. Let me know which one you think would be harder, and if there is teachers who have worked at both, let me know which one you actually found harder. I'm actually interested. The episode then shows a teacher basically telling on her year 11 class to Mr. Steer, just saying how bad behaved they are, and Mr. Steer admits that in the history of like teaching any classes, this year of year 11s is the worst he's ever had to deal with. Could you, like, how do like so many like bad kids happen in 1 year? Like, you know, you have like a couple or whatever, but like the entire year's bad? What happened? What happened with that year? I'd say Mr. Steer has like the best relationship with the students that I've seen in this episode. However, he still struggles to kind of contain some of the students in the classroom.
I've got a fat birthmark on my left ass cheek.
Is it at bottom or top?
It's like in the middle.
Can you see it when you're wearing hot pants?
No, it's at top. Oh, it's at top.
I feel like these need their own TV show. Like, the chemistry's off the charts here. I'm looking at the new one on deck. These are the new hosts of I'm a Celebrity. I'm just so shocked that they're talking about birthmarks on certain body parts instead of learning about the personal learning and thinking skills on the whiteboard. Oh, does thou have no respect for the school system? Also, what is this on the wall? What is this meant to represent? This looks like me when I was bald, except my forehead's probably a little bit bigger. To be fair, that's what a lot of yous look like. I've seen your photos when you comment on the videos. Oh. But the way Mr. Steer like really cares about like these students being successful is so wholesome. Like, he really does try his best to make sure that they've got the best opportunity possible to succeed.
My job is results for the whole school, and if I've got kids within my own class who I know are capable of doing it, who aren't getting it, I want to take that as a very personal failure on my part.
Like, you can see in his face that he really does care. Like, you know, some teachers, they might just want it to be like, oh yeah, just tick that box so I look good to like my bosses, whereas he's like actually like grabbing this with two hands and putting like the problematic kids in his classes. Like, he's really on the front foot with this. He clearly has like a real passion for helping people, and it's just so nice. There is a montage in this episode where like countless teachers come to Mr. Steer to complain about their year 11 classes. So like, not only only does he have to deal with his own problematic year 11s where he's put all of like the naughty kids in his class, he's got to also deal with like all the other classes, which is like even more stress. Like the amount of stress that this man is under will be mental, genuinely wild. And you're going to see soon in this video how this stress actually pushes him over the edge. Now in the short term, Mr. Steer does put his foot down with the year 11s. Like obviously you can see by the way he speaks, he's a nice person, but he actually goes around all of the classes and kind of tells them off. He then also organises like extra tuition classes for some of the students that need it. And Sheridan is absolutely buzzing that she's been included in this.
Tomorrow morning at 8:10 you've got tuition. You and Lauren together.
8:10? Oh. Are you joking?
No.
She just hates everything. Oh, you've got to be having me on. Surely not, man. Oh, man. Just everything, no matter what it is. She hates it. No matter what it is. To be fair, like having to come into school at 8:10. Like I didn't have to be in school until 10 to 9. And I thought that was early. 8:10, that's surely got to be illegal. Also, I've just thought, right, you know how like the cameras are like always focusing in on Sheridan and her friends? This must be like Harry Potter. Do you know how in Harry Potter, like it's only really like Harry, Ron and Hermione where like it really focuses in on? I wonder if the other students are like, why do the camera crews follow them? Why are they so great? Why is the head teacher bothering with them? Taking them for extra classes, etc.? What about fucking me? Like, I'm rewatching Harry Potter at the minute, and I always think, like, the other students must have fucking hated Harry. Like, why does he think he's Dumbledore's best mate? Like, he's got proper main character syndrome. Like, give it a rest. We know that your mum and dad got killed. Do you have to mention it all the time? Now, at this point, the show starts to take a little bit more of a serious turn as Mr. Steer opens up about a condition he's dealing with.
You've been told I have eczema, dermatitis and contact allergies. It comes, it goes, it gets better, it gets worse. And, you know, people always say, oh, it's stress.
Oh, my Lord. Seriously, I have been in this scenario before where you've got to wrap your hands up, etc. I struggle with some of the things he's mentioned there. It is one of the worst things possible. You feel so embarrassed that you've got to wear these, like, gloves because, like, why are you wearing, like, gloves when you're, like, doing your work or etc.? Like, I used to have to do that in school quite a bit. It feels so embarrassing even though it isn't.
I'm allergic to the chairs in the classroom. I'm allergic to the computer screen. I'm allergic to my smartboard. I'm allergic to ink.
I'm allergic to not playing Xbox with the boys every single night, which my wife isn't that happy about, but, right, she doesn't want us to flare up, so I've got to do it, so... Always thinking of her, I am. No, but seriously, that is actually really, really, like, serious. Later on in this video, you're going to see how this only gets worse and worse and worse. But not only has this man got, like, a tremendous amount of stress at work, like, this condition by itself is, like, stressful enough. And the fact he still puts the students, like, first over his own health is just so commendable.
Being in the school environment, there's a lot of stuff around that I'm allergic to. So, yes, this entire place is a death trap to me.
If only pedos had the same condition. Right, then they would have been allergic to schools. The show then cuts back to Sheridan, who is in geography, and she's actually doing her coursework, which I think they said contributes to 25% of her overall GCSE grade, and she just doesn't give a crap.
First off, you need to say why it's important to be sustainable, so you just need to say why. That's in your books. We did a...
Look at her yawning, man.
Miss, do I have to do this?
She's scared of making mistakes, and she really doesn't like to fail.
Right, Miss, I can't.
Do you know, just kind of... like observing her behaviour here, it seems like she gets stressed when she doesn't like understand something, which is like a lot of people struggle with that. So I don't actually think it's down to like her actual ability. I think it's just when she comes against a hurdle, she gets like really stressed about it. So if they could somehow kind of help her de-stress when she does face a problem, I actually think she could do really well in school. I think that's where all of her misbehaving stems from, when she kind of hits a block in terms of her work.
If I've tried like 3 times and I can't do it, I just feel like I've got to give up. I will never know what it's on about. And
so clearly, like, she doesn't really believe in herself that much. Like, she doesn't think she's really dumb, but she doesn't think she's really clever. She probably doesn't like demand that much from herself. And if she did, she could probably do really well, but obviously she's young and like she needs like the help from the teachers to kind of really motivate herself to like stretch for the like higher grades. I think this happens with a lot of people in school. Like a lot of people watching this, you might not have got that much of good grades, but actually did quite well after school, because I don't think grades in school define how clever you are as a person. They just kind of define how well you can intake information and put it on a piece of paper. The show then cuts back to Mr. Steer, who has brought loads of problematic kids into his office and give them a good telling off. And as this day finishes, finishes, you see Mr. Steer alone in his office, and he looks visibly upset and run down, and it feels like everything's just getting on top of him because of how much he cares about these students. Just quickly, guys, before we proceed with this video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can join the best community on the internet, the Donuts. In this little corner of the internet, we've got plenty of videos like this to binge watch when you're bored, so consider pressing the subscribe button and let's get back to the video.
Sometimes you'll just get to a point where you have a bad couple of days and you just think, yeah, you know, there are other things I could do where I would not have to put up with this.
Like, that's really, really sad to see, because somebody who's in, you know, obviously in his role, he probably does get paid like a good amount of money, but still it's a very, you know, it's a job where you give a lot. It's a job where you're dedicating your life to helping people and helping them like create a better future for yourself. And that is like, that takes a lot of emotion out of you. And this is the thing you don't see with teachers. Like, you know, if you're getting taught by a teacher, you only see them in like teaching mode. Like, a lot of teachers go through this where they have really, really stressed moments because they might have tried like 3, 4, 5, 6 methods of teaching the class and it's just not working. And I can imagine that feels really isolated and it'll really get people down. And the fact he's got to deal with like a really serious condition on top of that, which he's not getting help for at the minute, and stuff that's probably happening in his personal life as well. Like, this man, it's mental how he's still like so cheery on a daily basis. That's why so many teachers probably end up like being seen as a knob, because they just have such a short fuse because of all the shit that they have to deal with. The show then focuses in on Mr. Steer's new condition that he's dealing with.
You okay?
I wasn't in a great mood, let's be honest.
No, you weren't, but it's manky as that.
It is manky.
Oh.
No.
You haven't?
No.
You ought to.
Like, I've had things that look like that, like all over me body. Like, at one time my entire body was covered like that. Like, I've really, really struggled with this over the years, especially in school. It used to be really bad, and then when I got to around 2021, it got even worse. And I know I'm just speaking about my own personal experiences here, but it's took me so many years to find the right creams and to cut out the foods that kind of like, you know, make it worse and trigger it. That untreated will only get worse. And one thing that is a huge accelerator, like if anyone is kind of struggling with what Mr. Steer is and doesn't know how to deal with it, stress is like one of the biggest things, because it heightens everything in your body and makes your body more like stressed. That only, like, the cells that have dermatitis in them, they only like grow and get bigger. It's the worst contributor to psoriasis, dermatitis, eczema. Like, stress is the #1 contributor, and if there's one thing this man is under, it's a lot of stress.
The body like kind of attacks itself, doesn't it?
It does.
Honestly, that is one thing, like, if I could swap about my body, is that I wouldn't have a skin condition. Because, like, sometimes I look at people that don't have a skin condition, I'm like, you don't know how good you've got it. Like, every single morning and every single night, I need to, like, sit in cream for, like, 10 minutes each time. And even still then, like, some days it doesn't work. Some days you can just wake up and it's terrible. Like, honestly, like, it's one of the worst things. Especially in school, like, some days I wouldn't even turn up to school because it was so bad. Especially when it's on your face, etc. Like, it can make you really self-conscious. Now, at this point, Mr. Steer has kind of been, you know, like, not letting the students know what he's going through. However, in one of his next lessons, he actually gets a little bit upset about it for like a minute or two.
Hang on.
Oh dear. Are you alright?
Oh, God. Okay, sorry. Right.
Like, that's so sad that he took, like, what, like 5 seconds for himself just to be like, okay, you're okay. And then he carried on with the lesson and kind of put that again to, like, the background. Like, his health, the thing that is, like, the most important thing in the world, he's putting on the back burner just to make sure these kids are, like, succeeding. Like, it's such a thankless thing that he's doing. But I do think the girls appreciate it, because when they were looking at him in pain, like, after that, they stopped misbehaving and they actually, like, started listening to him and, like, engaging with the lesson. So clearly it shows that these girls are actually nice people. They're just kind of not stimulated by school. It's just interesting because they keep saying in this episode that these are the worst year 11s that they've ever had. But a lot of these girls that apparently are bad, they're actually like, they're actually like nice if you just kind of can get them engaged with what they're doing. Now, at this point, because he's now kind of shown in front of the students that he's not doing too well, like, some of the teachers have urged Mr. Steer to go to the hospital.
I think you should be at hospital, definitely. I can't see much to do. Let me do the together thing. I can do that in the morning. It's alright. I just need a coffee.
See, I don't want to keep, like, analysing this guy's condition, but as soon as he said he's going to get a coffee, I instantly know that that's a trigger for me. Like, if I have a coffee, like, instantly, because it spikes your certain like things, like certain hormones, etc. That spikes the condition to flare up even more. Like that's like a personal thing for me. So you can clearly see that he doesn't quite know what is like triggering his body, which is going to make him more stressed and then make it flare up more. I actually feel so sorry for him in this episode. Like, it's really, really sad what he's going through. And you can see, like, this other teacher, like, is trying to take some of the burden, some of the stress off by offering to do some of his work. But still, he wants to do it himself because he cares so much. Now, this teacher that did tell Mr. Steer to go to hospital actually alerts the head teacher that Mr. Steer basically, like, he needs a free period so he can go to A&E. Which is such a nice thing because it just shows that, like, some of the other teachers actually really care about him. And then Mr. Mitchell, the head teacher, basically orders him to go to hospital. He's like, look, have the afternoon off, you're going. Which is such a nice thing because, you know, some, I don't know, some head teachers might have been like, well, get your work done first, then you can go after. But he's actually telling them to just leave his work because it's this serious.
To be honest, I'd rather not lose you for a few days because you can't move. If there's something that simple that they can do with your leg.
Do you know if you were in, like, battle, you'd want Mr. Steer right next to you. Like, he's at risk of, you know, not being able to walk, and still he wants to teach his year 11 class. Like, what a kind man. Like, I'm actually, like, I'm getting, like, emotional here because it's, like, such, like, a selfless person. Wow. Give this man a knighthood. Right now, Queen. Well, actually, she can't do. King, Mr. Charles, get fucking on it. He then leaves to go straight to hospital, and like, just by looking at how he's walking, I can't believe he's not been before.
Johnny's always saying that I need to say no.
Bro, you're walking like the Penguin. Why have you not been earlier? Like, that's really, really bad that he hasn't been. My lord. And then he's got kids just telling him to fuck off. It's like, I wish I could. I genuinely, if I could, I would. The show then cuts to the girls who have got cover because obviously Mr. Steer's not in anymore. And they say how boring maths is without him there.
How boring is maths without Mr. Steer? Please, Beth, maths is proper crap without Mr. Steer.
And this just shows like how important like a teacher like that can be to the success of like students doing well. And now that Mr. Steer isn't actually teaching these girls like for like, you know, a time period, that's going to make it a lot harder for these to pass the results. And I don't know by the end of this episode if they're actually going to be able to do it. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Just a side note, the cutscenes in like these episodes are absolutely mental because it'll be talking about something so serious like this, and then it just cuts to a girl talking about Justin Bieber.
I was on Twitter and people say I should be good for Justin, so I did it.
Oh, I tell you what, I bet he appreciated that Paige. I bet Justin's sitting in his house right now going, oh, bless Paige. Bless her. What a woman. People did used to be like really obsessed with Justin Bieber. Like, I like Justin Bieber, but people used to be like obsessed with him in school. I remember this trend, like trigger warning. It was like cut for Justin where people were actually like harming themselves because... did he cut his hair or... He'd done something. Did he get a tattoo or cut his hair? I can't quite remember, but it was something so minuscule. And people took it upon themselves to, like, hurt themselves because of it. I was like, what? He had a really intense fandom back in the day. To be fair, I did used to listen to Mistletoe, like, around Christmas time on the way to school. And then as soon as I got, like, past the school gates, I'd put Eminem on just in case anyone kind of caught us. But I couldn't have that going about that. I listened to Mistletoe. That would have been the end of us, guys. And Boyfriend as well. Oh, what a banger. Oh, what a banger. 2 seconds, I'm going to put that back in my Spotify playlist. The show then cuts back to the geography lesson and Sheridan is asking the proper questions of society we all want answered.
There's a political party called UKIP, which is the UK Independence Party.
Why do they call stuff like that parties? Because it's not a party.
Makes sense. Do they hand out goodie bags? Do they play musical chairs? Do they have a free buffet? Doesn't sound like a party to me. They got music on. No? Well, I was at a party then. Pretty shit party, if you ask me. Makes sense. Just saying, just got a point. I feel like that's how we should vote in elections. Just see, like, which party puts on the best party. Who would win? I don't know. Whichever one does the Class A's, hopefully. Sheridan then finds out that she actually did really well in her coursework for geography.
Guess what you got in your coursework? You got an A. The whole thing. You see why I'm so frustrated now when you're like, I don't want to do this shit. Because you can do it.
Get in! Take that corrosion, you fucking bitch! I knew the Cliffs would come back to help her. After this, we then see Sheridan like turning up for all of our early extra tuition classes, like at 8 in the morning. And I feel like getting that good grade in our coursework for geography has kind of give her like a good momentum base to kind of build on. Like she seems to be just going from strength to strength. Sometimes, like even just in life in general, like if you're having a pretty bad time, sometimes you just need like that one win, that one good thing in like a crowd of bad things happening, just to kind of like give you some light at the end of the tunnel, just kind of give you something to work towards, or something to just kind of bounce off and kind of get you through like a couple of hard days. And I really feel like this is going to help our push towards the end of our GCSEs.
We got a cup of tea. Is that to make us have these? No sugar as well.
They're proper like old women, like just coming in like with a cup of tea, just they've got no sugars, honestly. Oh, terrible, man. Seen the colour of that? Right? It's white. Why they made us a white tea? The milk to tea ratio's all off, honestly. Where'd you get them from? Sack them. By the way, guys, I just need to say this. The greatest colour of a cup of tea, the only colour you should have your tea is this one. This one right here, 2D. If you have it any other colour, like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? What trauma have you been through? Because you need to sort that out. And because of this momentum Sheridan's got, like, she feels confident enough to tell the camera for the first time what she wants to do when she leaves school.
What do you want to be when you leave school?
Paramedic. And I like helping people and helping them out or being there for them if they need to be there and stuff like that.
That makes us want to cry. What? Why do these episodes, every single time I watch them, make us want to cry? The people are so nice. Even though they go through shit times, they're so nice. To know that you want to do that at the age of, like, is she 15 or 16? That's such, like, a nice job to want to have. Obviously a really tough one, but a really, like, rewarding one. And it just reiterates the point I said earlier. Like, just because you might misbehave in school, that doesn't, like, define the person that you are. It's just, like, it defines that you don't work well in that environment, but it doesn't, like, it should never, ever make you think that you're a bad person because you didn't behave in school. Moving on, Mr. Steer returns to school even though the doctors have said you need to have a week off. He's literally just came straight back in. I think they've given him some like medicine to help him.
Double strength antibiotics, cocodamol and ibuprofen. Yeah, keep off it, don't walk around, take a week off work. If it gets worse, I've got to go back to be admitted.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, brother. Ibuprofen and cocodamol is not gonna help with that at all. From what I've seen, where it's probably like even worse than that right now, you need steroid cream, like prescribed steroid cream, and work out what is triggering it apart from your stress and lack of sleep. Now in this episode, like Mr. Steer himself, like he never really receives like, you know, people don't really tell him how much they appreciate him a lot. And I think it's going to be really nice for him to have watched these episodes back, because there's like this next clip where the girls are basically saying how much they appreciate him and how much like he really does help them.
I love Mr. Steer, he's proper nice.
He explains things proper easily, doesn't he?
You're so brainy, sir.
Like obviously they're being quite funny there, but like genuinely, like teachers like that, you don't forget, like that you really do, especially when you leave school, you appreciate that they kind of got you through it.
Just doesn't show pain at all. No, I don't. It's like he's invincible.
To be fair, I am pretty sure that this man is invincible. Like the stuff that this man has been through in this episode and is still here teaching how to break down brackets. That man, I actually think he is invincible, to be fair. And as the girls, like, talk more about Mr. Steer, you can tell, like, not only do they not want to let themselves down, but they don't want to let him down. Like, because he's put so much work and effort into them, like, they feel like if they fail, they're also failing him. And, like, that's such a special relationship to have, like, from, like, teacher to student. I just believe it should never be undermined, like, the impact a teacher can have on, like, you know, a student's life. Like, they can literally change the trajectory of like, someone's life for, like, literally the rest of their life. Even if there is any teachers watching this, like, it is obviously important that you put yourself first if you are going through like health issues, because if you're struggling with health issues, how can you help anyone else? And that goes for any field you work in. It's like Mr. Steer works so hard. The head teacher, Mr. Mitchell, has said that he's literally never took a day off.
His personal circumstances and his illness could wait. Just a measure of the bloke, really. I wonder how many other people would react in the same way.
Honestly, I wouldn't. Like, if I woke up with a sniffle and I just couldn't be asked, I'd be like, oh, can I come in at tea? Oh, what? Is that Jeremy Kyle in the background? No, it's not. Is that the kettle on? No, I'm in bed, alone, asleep, crying. I'd be taking as many days off as I could. The episode now comes to the end, and it shows all of the students going into the exam hall, and then it just cuts straight to the results day. I'm actually so nervous because I actually really want them to pass, and I don't have a clue if they do pass or not. I know this was aired like ages ago, and they're all probably adults now, but I'm still nervous.
Sheridan, I've got yours here.
Oh, come on, Shazza.
Oh.
Sheridan missed by 4%. Which...
Oh no! Oh, that makes us sad. Oh, I actually thought she was proper sweet as well. Oh, you bastard. 4, just give her it, man. Oh, Howard, just give her it. 4. Fuck that. Oh, that's actually so sad. I feel like that makes it worse when you've, like, if you've really failed, you're like, oh, well, I just wasn't talented at this. But when you've missed by such a small margin, that's where it's like the worst.
You've come an absolute mile here. It's really good. It's amazing.
Like, even there, you can tell how much he cares, because even after she's failed, he's still the first person to, you know, comfort her and be like, look at the positives, like, you've done so well, etc. And, like, showing her, like, how much progression she's got so she can still have a little bit of momentum to take into whatever she's doing next. He actually says to her that he's getting the school to pay for her resit so she can actually, like, sit it in a couple of months and try and pass it again. Like, the guy's constantly trying to help people. This is all this guy wants to do. Steering the students in the right direction, you could say, Mr. Steer. He was born for this shit. We then get an update on how the students were doing when this episode actually dropped. Why have I still got me head up? I'm unsure, I'm just sad. And we actually learned that Sheridan ended up passing 8 of her GCSEs at A* to C. Oh, that's what I'm fucking talking about. That's the Sheridan we know. Go on, lass. And apparently she's now at college and she still hopes to be a paramedic. And then overall, the worst year 11 year that they've ever had, actually, like 88% of them passed the results, which is like, I think that's really good. And then the show actually says Mr. Steer's job is safe for another year. If they ever sack that man, I will be putting in a written complaint to that school. They better never sack him. He better leave on his own accord one day. Now, because Sheridan and her friends were like such a big part of Educating Yorkshire, they've actually done a couple of updates on them. They did one where they made them watch the episode back, and they also got them to talk to Mr. Steer again. It must be mad, because I never watched these when they were dropping. Like, were these like kind of like celebrities? Like you know, like not like celebrities, but you know what I mean? Were these people like well known? Because I don't know if Instagram and that was that big when they were at school. Like, if this sort of stuff dropped now, these kids would be like mini influencers.
The way that I was is cringy.
So was it a case that you felt that the more you messed about in class, the more popular you could become?
Yeah, definitely. Why would you want to even mess about?
They're basically this. I know they are the same people, but they're basically just the same, just older. They haven't changed at all. Like, they seem very similar to what they were. Like, obviously they say that they wouldn't have messed around as much, etc. But even just their mannerisms, etc. Like, not much has changed about them. And they actually did another update where you can really see the lasting like effects that Mr. Steer has had on these girls. Like, still to this day, they're praising him about how much he helped them.
Mr. Steer said, "Don't worry, I've asked school if we can pay for you to resit it."
Is he a bit of a hero?
Yeah. Oh.
I said he's his hero, man. Come on, how sweet's that? Don't tell me we never do wholesome stuff on this channel, because I'll show you this video. Bang! Egg on your face. That's unlucky for you. I tried to look to see if Sheridan did actually become a paramedic, but I couldn't find, like, anything that kind of steered us in that direction. Talking about steers, I found something on Mr. Steer. It says here that he recently worked at Offet Academy, but is soon set to embark on a new leadership role at North Huddersfield Trust School. Oh, leadership role, that's my king. That's what he deserves. Give him it. Give him the fucking money. And I also found his Twitter account. Like, he hasn't tweeted since 2017, but his last tweet is so funny. What on earth is home to Under the Hammer presenter Dion Dublin doing on a paddle of football pundits? Bit left field, isn't it? Oh, see, he mustn't be that stressed anymore if he's tweeting funny tweets on Twitter. He's still got it. But yeah, guys, if you would like me to make more videos on the Educating series, because I know that you proper love these videos, 4,000 likes on this video and we will do it. If you want to watch a previous video from me on another Educating episode that is absolutely mental, click this video right here or watch a brand new video on my new Reacts channel here. I say new, I've had it for like over a year now. Bye bye, donuts.